and welcome to another episode of The Brand Called You, a podcast and video show which brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, and experience from hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe so you won't miss a new episode. I'm your host, Frits Bussemaker, and today I'm delighted and privileged to have a conversation with Umesh Mehta. Umesh, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Fritz. Thank you for having me on this program.
And Umesh, allow me to introduce you to our audience. You are currently the President and Chief Information Officer of PI Industries in India. And if I look at your background, you have a very classic track record in information technology, starting as a programmer way back in 1987. And you've built up a great career becoming a global CIO for Jubilant Life Sciences before you moved to your current position. You are also the president of the CIO Association, which is India's largest association for chief information officers. And because of your background, obviously recognized as one of India's leading CIOs and digital innovators. Again, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you, Fritz. Thank you for having me.
Now, in hindsight, it looks very straightforward, as mentioned, a very classic track record. But to what extent did you plan your own career path when you started off in information technology? What were your dreams?
See, frankly speaking, I never wanted to be in the IT career. Okay, so my father was a businessman and he was into advertisements of hoardings, and I always wanted to join him. But on the other side, my father never wanted me to be in the business. He said that, no, business is not good. You should work and you should work for organization. And unfortunately, in 1984, when I passed out from school, from high school, that time India was starting its journey in the computer sciences. Okay, so fortunately, Delhi University in 1994, they started with a course, a graduation course in computer sciences. My dad got admission into that course, and that's how I came into the information technology with no background and nothing, knowing about the information technology. I still remember ours was the first batch of information technology students from Delhi University. That time, in fact, we didn't have the lab also first year. The computer science labs were started in the second year of our graduation. So that's how it started. And now I am here, being in the industry for almost 35 years now.
Okay,
so I would say it was not planned career move. It just happened.
It happened. Okay,
I'm very happy. I'm very happy that it happened.
So you are a trailblazer for the Indian IT industry.
Yes.
Being one of the in the very first cohort of students educated in information technology.
Sorry?
Oh, you are one of the first cohorts in information technology, so very much a trailblazer.
Yes.
So, at the time, how was information technology perceived?
So that time, as I said, that nobody knew much about information technology. India was also opening to the global world. And we had not seen computers. Okay, computers were there in universities, large, I would say, mainframe computers which were there, and we used to code. It was not for a common man, I would say. The PCs were introduced around that time only, and where we used to have floppies and with very less memory and less so they were seen as a replacement to a typewriter that time, if you ask me really, to a common man, the computer.
Okay. No, I'm just I want to alluding to your observations of indeed starting from scratch, starting from the beginning to a situation where uh, today we cannot imagine a world without digitization. You are recognized as one of the digital innovators of India. So I was wondering, um, what is your role in India and how does that happen? That doesn't happen overnight, I would assume. So how do you build up the experience? How do you lead that change, that innovation?
So after my graduation, I started as a programmer. Okay, and then I started, I would say, not enjoying the power of computer. Okay, and when we used to code and when we write to code and when we see our code getting executed and giving results, so that gave a lot of satisfaction to me as an individual. That okay, this is what we have written. Now we are asking a machine to execute what we want a machine to execute and deliver the results. That was very exciting. Okay, and that's how I started my career. And we started with the likes of Fortran 4 and COBOL that time, the business language. And slowly and gradually we moved. Networking was not there when we started our career, so the locally the network was launched at that time. We started with developing siloed applications, which were not talking to other applications. So with LAN coming in, we started integrated application. We used to write codes and the inventory system talking to the finance system. So all that we have seen, and then came the era of ERPs. Okay,
Mhm.
so the SAPs of the world, or MFG Pros of the world, or BAN that time. So that's how it started from a custom siloed application to integrated custom applications to the COTS application, which is your ERPs.
Yeah. So when was the first time you started to realize, hey, I'm actually part of a global digital revolution?
So it was when I was given responsibility, okay, to roll out and to lead a multicultural team in Shanghai from my organization. Okay, so that was the first time I thought, okay, now I'm part of the global world. I have to lead a multicultural team. Okay, so as part of my organizations, we acquired a company in mainland China, Shanghai, where I was sent and I was given the responsibility to roll out the IT operations, so IT infrastructure, network, and ERP software. So that was, I think, the turning moment in my life also, and that is one of my milestone also, if you call it,
Yeah.
where I was given a chance to lead a multicultural team, not only from mainland China, but we had expats from Europe also, from US also, and India, of course. So that was the turning point, I would say.
Okay. So that's a key milestone, as mentioned.
Correct, correct, correct.
Any other milestones in your life or your career where you say, hey, these for me are turning points?
Yeah, so as I said, one was this. The other one was when I was given an independent charge to lead an IT function. Okay, that was the first time when I led an IT of an organization, a large organization. So that was my, I would say, second milestone. I actually came out of the shell because earlier I was reporting to the IT managers or IT bosses, okay, doing my projects and all. But that was the first time I was heading that IT function. And that was also the time when I first time moved out of Delhi. I'm born and brought up in Delhi only. My education is in Delhi, but then for the first time, I took an opportunity outside Delhi, which is in Mumbai. and I was heading the IT function for a large manufacturing organization.
Okay, now when you make those shifts, how do you prepare yourself? And do you have any role models, coaches, or any guidelines you use to carry out with your work?
So, see, I always I look at Mahatma Gandhi as my role model and where I draw my inspiration also from. Okay, and I still remember a quote from Mahatma Gandhi which says, "Live life as if you have to die tomorrow, and learn as if you have to live forever." So this is the principle I follow. Okay, and I'm a lifelong learner, and even today also I'm still learning. Okay, so information technology field is that vast, so nobody can say that okay, I know everything in the in the IT industry. So we are
Okay.
learning every day. We are learning. New technologies are coming now. Now people are talking about generative AI. And I believe a lot of things will change with the artificial intelligence.
Yes, yeah, and I saw that earlier this year you met with Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. Um, and you wrote an article on that online. But what are, in your own words, what are the main takeaways you see with this OpenAI development? That
So I think
AGI.
it was a great honor to for me meeting the creator of ChatGPT when he
Yeah.
visited in India in the month of June. In fact, he was on a worldwide tour, visiting and meeting all the important leaders across the world. Okay, see, what my takeaways from his meeting was that one has to be ambitious. Altman is known for his ambitious mindset, and drive to achieve significant goals. He has been involved in various successful entrepreneurial ventures and has played a pivotal role in shaping the startup ecosystem. So he is very forward thinking when I spoke to him, and he not only he is not talking about the chat GPT 4 and other things, but he's also talked about the batteries. So the big thing what he's now talking about, and he's betting big on the batteries. And also, I found him a very collaborative person who understands the value of collaboration and who actively promotes the exchange of ideas and knowledge within the tech community. And in fact, in that meeting itself, he invited, or the organizer invited, a lot of I would say startups in that meeting, and he was very interacting with them very passionately, and understanding from them what these guys are doing with technology.
Okay. So far, you've made some observations how he what his mindset is. Any observations you've made which you are willing to adopt?
Yeah, so he talked about adopting artificial intelligence for farmers. Now that I work for an agrochemical company, so I really like the idea of adopting artificial intelligence, which can help our farmers be more productive.
Okay.
So,
Now, if you have an IT background, then I'd say you might have let's say, a positive, a biased positive perception on artificial intelligence. However, if I look at the news, the general news, there seems to be a growing, I'd say, negative sentiment about AI. It's taking away our jobs. It's creating autonomous systems which can do harm. We can't control it. What's your? Did you have a discussion how you're going to make certain that you give AI railguards. You make certain it has that positive connotation.
See, technology always has two sides. Huh? One is the advantages. So, if you talk about advantage of digital technologies or things, so it can improve your communication. It can help you automate and bring efficiency. And on the other sides, there are challenges and concerns on privacy, security. You talked about job displacement, but I believe that any new technology which has come, okay, has finally generated more jobs than the jobs that technology took over.
Okay.
So I still feel this generative AI or chat GPT or the other parts of the world, they will create more jobs, I would say. This is what I feel. Initially, the balance would be they will take more jobs away, but eventually, I think in the end, they will also create more jobs. And the only thing what we have to do is the people, or they will have to reskill themselves, okay, adapt to the new changes and reskill themselves for using these technologies. But I'm a firm believer that it will create more jobs.
Okay, good. Well, future will tell. Although I'm with you on that, having a positive bias towards what AI can bring us. Now,
Yeah.
I also want to touch on your role as the president of the CIO Association in India. Maybe first of all, explain what is the CIO Association?
Okay. So, CIO Association is a platform for CIOs, okay, of CIOs and run by CIOs, okay, and it's a very good platform for networking, knowledge sharing, knowledge enhancements, and explore better business solutions. CIO Club's vision is to create the world's most insightful, effective, and impactful network of CIOs for swift and agile technological transformations across the sectors and around the globe. Okay, so it's not in India, though we started in India, but now we are expanding outside India also. And now, in fact, if you ask me, we are one of the largest CIO association in the world, with 1,600 members from various industries as CIO club members. By the way, the CIO club, the K stands for knowledge in the CIO club, and that's why we are calling it. And our mission is to share experience, enhance knowledge, and members explore better business solutions for futuristic technological transformations in their enterprises and industries through collective wisdom of the efforts. And we also, CIO Club or CIO Association provides a platform to the technology companies to come and showcase their technology, okay, to the CIOs, and CIOs with the word of mouth and using these technologies can bring benefits for their organizations. And we started in 2008 in Mumbai with 8-10 people. I am one of the founder members of CIO Association. Now, this is our 15th or 16th year running. And now I'm happy to say that we are a 1,600 plus strong member base. And we do almost around 100 knowledge sharing events across the country and outside India. So now we have a chapter in UAE also, Dubai. And we do almost 100 knowledge sharing sessions.
Okay. Now, I know that being a CIO is quite a full-time job, quite demanding. So how do you balance your life with being a CIO running a CIO community and also have a family life, I hope. So
Yes.
how do you balance that?
Yeah, it's a tough one, but yes, when you have a passion, okay, for your, I would say, career or for your community, then I think you can take out time. Okay, yes, family front, yeah. I'm fortunate that my kids are settled well. Okay, so I get time, and my family is also behind me. Okay, my wife, so he's a great supporter, and
Yeah.
she supports me in my activities, whatever I do. Okay, so daytime it's all office work, and during the weekends. And in the evening, I spend time for the CIO association activities. So that's
Okay.
how I manage.
Okay. Now, being the president of a CIO association and being a CIO yourself may look the same, but I would assume those are also those require different traits, different skills. Managing an organization is different than running a community. What
Yeah.
for you, what did you need to develop as a skill? What did you need to learn in that new role? Or what's the difference?
Yeah. So difference is that in an organization, when you have people, okay, though there are diverse views, but again, you have your own team and you are the head of the team and you are leading that team. So everybody listens to you, okay, and they but in case of an organization which is spread across 14 cities, you have multiple views. So to take them along, you require little more, I would say, effort in terms of taking them along, listening to their suggestions, solutions, and then making them agree towards a single goal.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
but in case of CI association, those guys are not reporting to you, so they're not
Yeah.
daily interacting with you also. Okay, so they have their own this thing, and more importantly, they are from different cities. They have different culture also. India, is a diverse country, so with different cultures. So you have to take them along, and you have to listen to them, and you have to take them along, align to your ideas, and also sometimes you have to make adjustments.
Okay.
Yeah.
That suggests maybe a bumpy road. Were there any learnings along the way where you said, okay, in both roles, I was hey, that's actually a situation where I really learned something and I needed to correct myself.
Yeah, I think there are learnings both in an organization also when you lead a team, and especially when you lead a diversified team in CIO association. Okay, so where you are also, though you are designated as president, but then we have a governing body which takes care of the CIO association. So, and we have 9 members, and so we are all equal. So, but yes, there are designations like I'm the president, and then someone is secretary, someone is the treasurer who takes care of the treasury. But all are equal, and we are accountable and responsible to 1,600 CIOs. And when you see that's another difference what we have in an organization. You have your own team, but here there are 1,600 peers across different organizations. Okay,
Yeah.
to handle them and to handle your team, you require different skill sets
Yes.
because the expectations are different, and the level is different.
Okay. But coming back to my question, have there been situations where you felt, look, I've taken the wrong approach, I've made the wrong decision? What was it, and how could you translate that into a learning experience?
So there were situations. There are situations where you have to concede that okay, no, the other person is right. Maybe I'm not able to see what the other person is telling me. Okay, and in that case, you have to make adjustments.
Yeah.
And as I said, that listening is very important, and listening, especially to the peers, okay, who are sometimes more experienced than you also, because in our CIO session also there are uh, people or CIOs who are more experienced globally, or the years of experience in the industry, or that for that particular industry. So you have to adapt to their I would say demands,
Okay.
and change yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But the lesson learned I'm picking up also is even though someone is the president of an association, you still have to realize there are people out there with more experience or bigger
Absolutely.
background. So it's the function per se does not give you a right or more knowledge, uh, and,
Correct.
and be aware of that yeah, that reality.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I was wondering, success. And how do you find is the success in a CIO association the same as success in your organization or private life? What is your definition of success?
See, Fritz, success is a subjective and multifaceted concept, and that varies from person to person, and it is often associated with achieving goals, whether in the organization or in CIO association. So it's achievement of goals, the positive impact you bring in your organization, in your team, and in your association, and it's all about the relationship and well-being. Success can be associated with nurturing meaningful relationships, maintaining a healthy work-life balance, and prioritizing overall well-being. It encompasses physical and mental health also, fulfilling relationship and a sense of balance and contentment. So it all depends. Huh?
Yeah. Okay. No, I understand that. So we're almost at the end of our time today, Umesh, unfortunately. Um, I want to end with a brief discussion, your take on what you would advise young people just starting off in their career. Um, if somebody would come up to you and say, "Amish, can you help me? I just started." What are the first things you would ask or say to that person?
I would recommend, or I would tell him to dream big. Huh? Okay. Uh, I must tell you a story. It's my real story. Okay. So when I opted for a computer science career, so I used to read magazines. That time, print media was this thing. So I always used to admire people or CIOs on the front page of these magazines. And I said that one day I want to be a CIO. Okay, though I had no interest in information technology, I had no background. None of my family members were into information technology, but that I had a dream, and that I got CIO 100 award from IDG. That was, I think, 2012 or 10. Okay, so that was the first time. So the tears were there in my eyes when I was called up on the stage and given the CIO 100 award. So I said, okay, one day I had thought I had to be a CIO, now CIO, and recognized among the top 100 CIOs. Okay, so dream big, and passion is another thing which I would and be passionate in whatever you do. Okay, and the third thing I would say to be humble. Okay, so these are the two or three advices I will give to the young managers who are starting their careers. Because I am a firm believer that if you dream big, you will achieve it. There's no one who can stop you.
Shoot for the moon. Yeah, Umesh, that's a great advice. 3 takeaways to end this great conversation with me. Hey, I wish you success in your growing career as a CIO, and also with the growth of the CIO club in India. No doubt
Thank
our
you.
paths will cross. And again, thank you for your time and sharing your insights.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you, Ben. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the Brand Called You.